What is up, guys? So, Samsung's One UI 7 beta is already up for downloads. And for those who don't know, the beta program is basically a preview of Android 15 that is going to be launching with the S25 series. You could call it a glimpse into Samsung's near future software experience, and here are some of the best features we've seen yet. Earlier this year, Samsung introduced Live Translate, which was basically a feature that, like the name implies, lets users translate audio files via calls, voice memos, and likes from one language to another. This feature was quite an amazing feature because it wasn't a gimmicky feature and it worked quite well. So basically, you could speak to someone in Japanese and in real time they'd hear English and vice versa. But now they've taken things a bit further by letting you record calls while translating them in real time and giving you a transcript. This feature supports 20 languages, so it's a pretty cool stuff. For some reason, Samsung fans seem to express a great desire to have apps in a vertical layout. This probably was due to the fact that stock Android had already had this feature by default from as far back as Android Pie, and Samsung fans have always felt a little bit left out. But anyways, the feature is now built directly into One UI, and you wouldn't need to get a good luck mod to have this on. Personally, I do not have any issues with the horizontal layout thing we have going on, but I think this is a very nice touch. For a long time, the Achilles heel of Samsung's Android skin, even before the introduction of One UI, had always been animations. And it really wasn't an Android problem as much as it was a Samsung problem. Well, this problem actually got addressed with One UI 6.1.1, and it looked pretty good because it launched with the Z Fold 5. But now Samsung is spicing things up by making animations as beautiful as iOS. And for those of you who don't know, non-linear animations basically lets an app animate without necessarily following a rigid fixed path. So for example, an app can begin its opening animation even while the closure of a previous app is not completed. So it eliminates the tacky, plasticky, stuttery feel of an app feeling a little bit unresponsive to touch because a previous animation isn't concluded yet. One UI 7 brings a redesigned control center, and technically the major redesign for the control center came with One UI 6, but it's been refreshed to look a little bit better and more customizable with One UI 7. It's not a major redesign, but you're given more control to tweak things around. And a lot of people have been talking about how closely similar it is to iOS 18, but honestly, I do not think that's a bad thing, since companies copy each other all the time. And at the end of the day, it just means a much better experience for the end users. This has to be straight up one of my favorite features of One UI 7, and this is because it's a software thing, but it comes with significant hardware benefits. So basically, this feature limits your phone from charging beyond a specific percentage limit set by the user. So for example, setting this feature to 90% means that your phone would never charge beyond 90%. And this feature is extremely beneficial as it means that, your devices would have less chances of overcharging. And since topping up your battery to the absolute peak every single time isn't necessarily going to do your battery health any good, this battery life extending feature makes it more likely for you to hold onto your devices for longer without much fear of battery related issues. The overall design direction for One UI 7 is looking pretty good, to be honest, and Samsung is introducing its version of Apple's dynamic island, howbeit without Apple's creative naming strategy. This feature is called the Now bar, And honestly, it sounds like the name a person addicted to a Power Rangers movie would come up with, as it's pretty uninteresting. But the feature basically does things similar to Apple's Dynamic Island, but with one-handed reachability in mind, as the interactive pill is located at the bottom of the display. They also decided to give the battery charging animation a redesign while at it, and honestly, I think it looks pretty sleek, to be honest. The icons also got the first major redesign that we've seen outside of One UI's initial icon change. And this I have mixed feelings about. Personally, I'm not a fan of the new icons. They look a little bit dull and lifeless in my opinion. And I really hope we're given an option to revert to the older icon style somehow with an update or something. If you like this video, consider giving it a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.